What's up? It's Sam the Rockstar here. Sam the Dingus here. Here to brainstorm with you. I just want to solidify some of these ideas that I have and some ways that I come up with music. Now, lots of people probably want to make music, try to want to learn how, or maybe they can't figure it out, or maybe they just don't know anything about music. And let me learn you something here. Music is magic. It's alive. It's a living thing, but you have to breathe its life for it. And it's all about catching the right flow, so to speak, making it feel natural, make the sounds combine and sequence well together. Now, the better you get, the more complex these ideas can obviously become, but you can take things at a very ground level for a start. What is music, really? Just noise, sounds. Music is changing of notes. So that means a sound is heard, giving reference to all other sounds heard post. And there's an emotional change that comes with the following sounds. So, for example, you could play any note on anything, guitar, piano, anything, for a start. Now, what you'll learn pretty fast is there are certain intervals that, well, the second note will almost always sound fine, I think, as long as it's relatively close by, not crazy far. I'll try to go crazy far, though, to see if it sounds bad. Maybe a little too far. I think you could get away with something going super far like that, but maybe not to that specific spot. But in general, the second note will always sound fine. It will always sound good. It'll have a defined feeling with the change. So, for example, some changes create tension, some things build, some things make it all come crashing down. Some of it is a resting place. Music is many things, and it's the combination of them. You want it to make sense. It's like a story, so to speak. That's why I literally can talk out how to make the music as I'm making it. But I'd rather just show you some stuff now instead of just talking, though I think most of this is information based. Of course, demonstrations will help, and I do have this guitar. So, pick any note. Let's just do the next fret up. It creates a change in the air, right? You can hear that. Even though you're not here in person, I believe you can feel that. That in itself is potential for music. You can add other things on top that start happening as this repeats. Like drums, I can hear in my head. Dun 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 dun. Things like that. Or you can develop it more. Now, the third note is the most important note in any sequence, because the first two notes, I believe, pretty much always make sense. The third one, it has to meet the conditions of both notes in order for it to work. What do I mean? So, for example here, we're just going to go the next one up again. I'm going to go up again. It does work, and I think you could use it. Any good musician can use probably any sequence of notes to make something good. But these three notes, if you played them a lot faster together, would not sound nearly as good because you'd actually hear it. Generally, just going next to each other is not going to work for very long. It won't sound clean anymore. It won't sound like a good build. It works, but, well, what we call a scale, those are the correct intervals of notes for going up. Now, I'm no scale master, and Music theory, I have very little expertise in. I'm just speaking like philosophically what I discover learning music. But a scale would be something like this. So I probably did it wrong, but you get the idea. You know, these notes are not just going up next to each other. So now let's jump one on the third. So it's skip one. Now, as you may understand, this pattern continues. And now, that doesn't really sound like too much yet. The fourth note. And, well, now, from the third note onward, you can either finish a story, develop a story, mix it up, change its direction. These are just options of things that you can do with the sound. So, for example, to make that little lick make sense, as we have it, the fourth note, it could go up, but at some point it's got to stop going up. So it's nice to have a strategic down point. And let's just do it after the fourth or fifth note as we've progressed so far. All the way down. There you go. And there we've made instant music. That's just a little ascending riff. Probably in 4/4 time, though I'm no music theory expert like I said. Anyone who knows music theory probably already knows what time I just played that in. And everyone who doesn't know doesn't even probably know what that means. But 4/4 is a time signature. We'll get into that later. So, here we got a little ascending riff we just made. Now, once you keep doing that a few times, then that basically condenses into one note. You can think of it, sort of. And now you want to add the variation to your one note, if that makes sense. One of those patterns in the sequence of that same exact pattern should be different. That's what gives purpose to it, gives story, gives it motion. This is just the baseline. This is how we get it moving. This is the water on the ocean. Not the boat, not the wind, just the water. Could be a different ending. See, and then basically, once you get to that point, for me, it's like almost a game. It's a game of trick the listener, trick yourself, but it's not intentionally to sound tricky. You want it to be smooth more than slick. Well, okay, slick is like perfect between tricky and smooth. So slick transitions are nice, but it's always nice to have a purpose. I think purpose beats planning almost every time for music for life. So I'm just gonna actually just run with a little freestyle based on what we've been doing. Use some of the ideas that we talked about here, that I talked about to myself, to you guys. Just gonna jam a little bit, enjoy. And I'm no pro, you know? I just like to fix it as I mess it up. That's the next key too. Every time you mess it up, you can make there a reason for the mess up. You'll probably notice that happen in here. If I play something that sounds kind of wonky, I can tool around to make it sound like it was kind of on purpose. So as you can see, that's just a little freestyle, and whenever you aren't freestyling, I think freestyling is the best way to understand music, because then you actually feel it. You are the life of it. Most of the exposure we have to music in our culture is just pressing play and listening to a sound. So like our goals are like to create that portable sound, so to speak. But music is a living thing, and you have to channel that flow within you. And freestyling is the best way to do that. But whenever you slow down and do it piece by piece, you can be strategic about what you're doing. And I said purpose beats planning, but if you got both, it's pretty much unbeatable combo. Alright, everybody, good luck out there. Let me know how your music writing goes. Let me know if you think I'm a piece of shit teacher. Talk to you later.